We are here for you. Whoa, whoa, whoa. We are here for you. Whoa, whoa. We are here for you.
That was a good one.
We are here for you. I'm Corey.
I'm Allegra.
And I'm Hannah, and welcome to our digital tribe. We are three longtime friends and even longer time hairstylists who love our industry, love to educate, and we miss being able to tell you that every day.
And if you're here right now watching us, you probably need a little bit of help and a little bit of humor. And we intend to give you both. And there may even be cocktails. And by may, I mean 100% there will be.
So please know that despite what our clients say about us, we are not sorceresses. It's a weird word. And we don't claim to know everything. But we do believe in the power of community and just knowing that we're all in this together.
Yeah, I think that's really important to remember, the power of community and creating that digital tribe. So just to do a little icebreaker, we're going to talk about doppelgangers. The definition of a doppelganger, loosely, is somebody that looks like you. And I'm sure all of you have had people tell you you look like somebody. I know for me, it's always been a man, not usually a woman. And I think today it would be funny to do somebody who you look like right now in quarantine. So if you want to start that off, Hannah, that would be awesome.
I would love to. Now, I don't look like this person at this current moment, but I
love that
really,
so
I really with his personality that's shining through right here and the hair, because that's actually what I look like in the morning. I do not look like this at all.
Same.
Very disheveled. And I don't even try to not look like that.
No point.
No shame.
What about you, Lou?
Well, I have been told that my hair looks downright presidential from time to time. So I found just a great picture of Hillary here. Let's just go to that.
Yes.
So I'll just show you the gist of it. Just a little
Style.
Yes.
hair.
Perfect feathers.
Allegra and
I wish.
yeah.
No thank you.
Allow me to introduce you to Susan. Susan has a very square, boxy, puffy profile, and I do as well. Susan is Charlie's toy. I would also like to bring up that in the past, I have been accused of looking like Simon Cowell. I believe I had his haircut when I was pregnant, and it looked better in person. I think it looked better in person, but anyways, those are our doppelgangers in quarantine. So every part of these webinars, we really want to focus on something that we can do to help you guys at home. And today we are doing Zoom styling. So pretty self-explanatory, but what that means is you get a phone call, you're like, oh my gosh, I look horrible, I have to be on camera, and I need quick tips to look presentable, either for your boss, your coworkers, maybe a new client. Okay, so I'm gonna start with what I'm wearing right now. Obviously my haircut is very grown out. And oh, there's Susan. Hey, Suze. So this, like, if I were to just wake up, it would be something like this. And obviously I can't go on Zoom like that. So I'm gonna grab just a regular headband, or I'm sorry, a scarf, not a headband. And you wanna start with the bow behind your head. simply put it on super tight, wrap it around, and bring it up. You can tuck it behind your ears if you don't want to look like you're skiing. And now I'm ready for Zoom. Another thing I've been doing is I took just a regular bandana that I got on Amazon, and I cut it in half because if it's the full size, it's just a little too bulky. And then I tie a knot in the middle of it, like that. And I just will kind of push my hair back. Sometimes I do use the Labio hair powder, just because, as you can see, like there's parts of my scalp that are trying to peek through. And that's just, nature's oil. Nature's oil, everyone. So you get it out with the hair powder and quickly push it back, push it forward a little bit for some volume. And once again, you are Zoom ready.
You look amazing.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so next up is Hannah with Zurls.
Yes. So Zoom curls, Zurls. So I'm going to show you how to get ready by using just a standard iron, curling iron. This is just a 1 inch. So I'd say this is a good size for basically anybody with any type of length of hair that you have, but whatever you have at home should do. So I'm going to curl based off my part. So I'm just going to divide it into 2 sections on this side. And I'm literally just going to pop in like 3 pieces on each side here. So the first piece is going to come forward.
Why are you curling it forward?
Because I learned a little trick a long time ago, or a tip I should say, that the first curl forward is super flattering on anyone's face shape where it cuts in at the jawline and looks nice.
That makes sense.
And then the other curls are just off my face, the other ones that I'm throwing in. And honestly, feel free to experiment on your own. Alternating the curls is another good option too. This just happens to work for me. So we got that. And then I'm moving over to this side. Same thing over here. This side's heavier, so I might pop in just a few more. But the same pattern.
Product in your hair?
I threw in a little bit of powder. Hair Story powder is the brand, or sorry, Hair Story is the brand, and it's their powder. And that's always good, especially if you're waking up with, second day hair and you need to absorb some of that grease. It will do the trick, and it will give you volume. And I'm just taking like 1 inch sections, I think, from what I can tell. And I'm also just pull them down a little bit. You don't want them turd-like.
Shirley Temple.
We all know what we're talking about, right?
Yes, we do.
Corey, you coined that term.
Yeah, you're right. All my clients have heard it several times.
No. I think right here I might need one more.
Anna, what have you been calling your quarantine hair for your Zoom meetings?
Meetings up front, quarantine in the back. I think.
That's so.
So anyways, once that's done, let them sit for a minute and cool down. But since we're doing a Zoom tutorial, we need to be a little bit faster. There you have it.
So good.
So good.
I think that's okay.
You look fancy.
There we go. Just a little zhuzh. If you have naturally curly hair already and you just want to polish it and look nice, I love combining these 2 products by the company Reverie. This is Milk and this is Rake. And if you mix them equally together, just cocktail them and apply it to towel dried hair. You don't want to apply it to super wet hair at all because then it'll just fall out. But towel dried, rake it through your hair really well, twist it and form your curls, let it air dry. You can diffuse it if you want to. So those are
Cool.
my
That's awesome. That was so fast.
yeah.
Yeah. Allegra, what about you?
I have some lovely hair accessories, and I just want to talk about the beauty
Love them.
hair accessories during this time. Because if you need to hop on a Zoom meeting and you just really need to make the front of your hair look presentable, just like Hannah did with curls, you can do something with clips. So the first thing I want to talk about is just a fail-proof little hairdo you can do. Is always the deep part, one side tucked. You can even throw a bobby pin behind your ear here, or if you want to throw a cute clip there to keep this tight.
Cute.
Now, I just want to talk about real quick, like, say you wake up in the morning and your hair feels kind of crazy and you need to tame it. A great product is actually Milk that Hannah was just talking about. It's a smoothing, nourishing cream. So if you have ends that feel like a little bit dry and crispy, or like your hair's curly and it just feels nuts, just take some of that, smooth it in your ends, and that'll help it feel a little more polished. If you have finer hair and you're like, I don't want to wash my hair, go for the hair powder, the Hair Story one I love. I think it's great. And then put a little hair powder in it. I'm going to show you guys a look that I really like right now that's very hot. This is in vogue recently. I have thick hair, so it's really easy for me to put these clips in my hair. But again, if you have finer hair, I would put hair powder in first because that's going to give you a little bit more stick hair.
So also give you just a little bit more volume.
Absolutely. So I got these clips at Anthropologie. They're a little maybe too much for some people, which I totally understand. I just like them. So you can do this, but with really any type of clip. Like I have these really cute ones too. Pearls are super in right now. I know they're really 90s and they're not for everyone. So you can also from here, if you have long hair, just take all of this and tie it in a super tight little pony back here. And that can be really chic. You can do that with curly hair, straight hair, anything like that. That is really, really helpful. I also just want to touch on headbands are also really in right now too. Having just a thick headband, even with a middle part in a headband, is really cute. Just you can have your hair down. Again, if it's shorter, just like mine. If it's shorter like Corey's too, that's cute. Again, you can always pull it back into that tight pony or chignon, and that can look really sleek. Oh, and one more thing. If you have very textured hair and it's not sleek, that's totally fine too. You can always do the 2 clips again, like I had, if you want to rock that look, and then you can have all this stuff just kind of like big and crazy, and maybe it's longer, maybe it's shorter, whatever. It's just, that can look like something, you know? I think by putting a rhinestone in your hair, you just instantly feel fancy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those are my little tips.
That's great. And I think we covered like a couple different looks for people, so that's good. Now, I don't know about you guys, but it's been a rough day. And I gotta say, it's gotta be 5 o'clock somewhere. Am I correct?
Absolutely.
So what are we drinking? Anyone?
Oh,
No one's drinking?
I am white wine blend.
White wine blend, nice. Allegra?
Right now I'm having a little Espolon tequila with a little lime LaCroix combo.
You guys love your tequila.
Yeah, it's good.
Well, as you know about me, I'm more into quantity over quality. So I've got my giant Red Revolution, I think it's called. Basically, I just want to get it inside me and drink it and not worry about running out, if you will. So I'll just pour myself a little bit of that and we'll just move right into the Q&A. So because this is our first webinar, I prefer the word episode personally than webinar, but we are hoping to have a Q&A portion where you guys can ask questions. What are your needs at home? Any Zoom styling questions, etc. So for now, because this is our first episode, we are going to ask each other questions, and hopefully it'll cover some uncharted territory for you guys that we weren't able to cover today. So we're going to start with Allegra.
Cool. Corey, I have a couple questions for you. I want to touch on bangs with
Okay.
your bandana or silk scarf, how that can work if your bangs are down and you want to wear them flat, or if they're shorter. How does that work? Can you still use a bandana?
Absolutely. I don't know if I have bangs or not at this point. I might, not sure. Let's just go ahead and see what I can do here. If I just pull out a bang, like maybe you want a little bit of softness around your face, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you could even curl it if you want to. I don't think it's necessary. You could pull some out over here. I don't know. I just like hair off my face, and I don't really have a haircut right now. So that's why I just pull it off. But I think, you know, it'd be super cute, like you said, Allegra, with the center part.
Mm-hmm.
If you had longer hair pulling it back. And then also if you had like a Bardot fringe or a straight across fringe, that would be really cute too. My only suggestion would be to either shampoo your bang if it's shorter, because you don't want those jail bars across your forehead from earlier discussed having the grease from sleeping. So yeah, I say do it.
Cool. Also, I just wanted to ask about long hair. What do you suggest for scarves with long hair?
I think same rules apply. I think it's really cute to wrap it around here and like tie it around your ponytail, or have it coming out onto your neck as sort of like a further way of accessorizing. You could also do the big bow, but I think long hair looks great with it kind of sleek. There's so many options. You could look online. I would just say experiment.
Cool.
Yeah, the same rules apply.
Yeah.
Yes, so Hannah, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Quality of curling iron. I get a lot of questions about, well, I've got this Conair from Bartels and it just doesn't work.
I'd say throw that Conair in the garbage immediately.
Yes.
But in all seriousness, yeah, you probably should throw that away, only because you want to make sure that you're using a curling iron that is going to be safe on your hair and not ruin the integrity or damage your hair. So having something that's ceramic, honestly, like Hot Tools is a good brand that's pretty streamlined as far as price goes. Like if you're spending anywhere from like $35, $40 up on a curling iron, I think you're buying something that's decent. But anything like 20 and under at Bartels or Walgreens or wherever, it's a little chancy.
Yeah, and it's basically like the better it curls your hair, the more apt you are to use it, right?
Yeah. Well, and
curl your hair if it doesn't work.
yes.
Okay, and so where do we get those? Just Amazon?
Yeah, I mean, I would say Amazon for right now. I mean, I think that seems to be the easiest source. If I don't know, anyone watching that, if you have a hairstylist that sells Hot Tools, like support your hairstylist and reach out to them first and see if they carry those items. But Amazon, Nordstrom, actually, I think carries some too. But that would be my suggestions for that.
And then the second question would be temperature. I've always used mine all the way up because I'm very impatient.
Well, I think that for people like myself, I have very fine processed hair, and you want to be careful with your hair, use a heat protectant. And for me personally, with my texture and condition of hair, I would use something of a lower temperature, like 350 is typically what I use. You
Makes
could, if you have stronger, healthier hair, say your hair doesn't hold a curl that well, using higher temperature up to like 400 or so, I think is okay at your own risk. Make sure you're not leaving it on the hair, like you're constantly kind of moving it or tapping the clamp of it when you're using a high temperature like that to avoid damage, breakage.
And maybe for thicker heads of hair.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Allegra, I think you kind of answered one of my questions, but I'm gonna. So if you have, say, more unruly curly hair, I know you mentioned the milk to help tame for the styles that you're talking about. Would you suggest if you, or I guess, how would you approach if you want more of that like chic look, slick and tame?
For people that have more unruly hair?
Yeah, just how would you approach that?
Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah, because it can seem a little overwhelming, I think, if you have a lot of hair like that. Again, definitely hair like that texture typically wants moisture and wants, it's thirsty. So anything that you can like hair oil or like milk from Reverie to give it that quench, and you're probably going to use a little more than you think. You can totally put that stuff on dry hair too. And even if your hair is dirty, like you could put oil on dry hair and just like get it really like sleek, a little bit shiny. And it like, you could even then like pull all that back into something tight. As long as it's like tight to your head, it's gonna feel pretty sleek. And by giving it that moisture, it'll feel less unruly, I think. Does that answer?
Now, yes. Do you think that you can achieve that look like you just described without having to blow dry it straight and get that style if you have that super curly thick hair by using the oil and milk?
I think so. I think it's all about tension, honestly. So you could even like have this part super tight or like clip something that's really tight and have the rest of it like be kind of big and wild. Of course, if you're not heat styling that, it's going to be a little bit more crazy, but you could always take a curling iron like you were using and tame with some heat to the curls that you already have. Or if it just feels frizzy, just put a little bit of heat on it with an iron, and that'll give it instant shine and calm it down a little bit.
Cool. My other question, so with people who have super fine hair, lower density, so not a lot, is there something that you didn't mention as far as styling that they could easily do to still feel like they're on trend, but maybe parting down the middle and getting those clips in there just might not work with their density? Do you have an alternative?
Totally. I think it's all about, especially with fine hair, like having enough dry shampoo in it, or like unfortunately with fine hair, just washing it more often because that'll make it feel less limp. But for sure, like, but Hannah, your hairstyle where you do, I mean, I know I already mentioned this, but it's just like foolproof, a deep side part with this over here, either side, whatever. Or I really think that having a sleek pony, even if you have fine hair or thick hair, it's always gonna look polished.
Mm-hmm.
No matter what. So that's what I would say to that. But if you do want to use clips and you have finer hair, I would 100% use a dry shampoo or a texturizing product to put your clips in, even if you're putting it up all the way, because that's going to give you a little bit more of an anchor for that clip to actually stay in your hair.
Can I ask you one question?
No.
Because that looks, and that with, that super cool look maybe a year ago or so with the back-to-back bobby pins, kind of acting as like a really big clip. Is that still in style?
I think you could totally do that. I've seen some super cute stuff on Instagram where maybe it's like a little bit more of an embellished bobby pin. Excuse me, here, I'll just put this in. I have these cute little ones I got at Anthro. I've actually seen some cute stuff too where like maybe there's like a braid and then there's a couple pins.
Yeah.
I think that looks cool. I'm super into that. I mean,
Yeah,
a bad example, but you know, I think like a couple here and there, I think it's cool. I would totally wear
Anna, do you mean like making that waffle?
yeah. Remember that back like in the Orbea days?
I love that. I think it looks really cool.
But I like what you just did too, Allegra, because I
Yeah.
think that's like super 90s,
Mhm.
like on trend too. Yeah.
I think I've seen just less of the like total like waffle, you know, of bobby pins and hair. And I've seen a little bit more of like that 90s feel now, but I think you
Yeah.
Good to know. I count on you guys to keep me current because as you know, I'm a little bit older.
don't look a day over 29.
Thank you. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope that answered some of your questions for Zoom styling, and we will see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Yes. The best hair days are yet to come.